Hello.
And welcome to Two
Tunes
Podcast.
Oh, we should have done podcast as two separate syllables as well. Oh well.
Oh, I thought we were going to do it together.
Tunes Podcast. I don't know. I didn't know we were doing that, so.
Because everything's off the cuff.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we're going to be real off the cuff today.
Yes we are, because...
So to clue people in, because every episode is somebody's first episode, Bo. Clue people in a little bit on this. So we've got a few... So anyway, sorry. What our podcast is about is we ramble about a lot of things. But the crux of it is that we each bring a tune.
Crux or Crooks?
Crux, which is also a band.
It was also a comic.
Sure. But we each bring in a tune and discuss it. And the ground rules that we set forth for ourselves way back when we started this was we would get roughly 24 hours before we would record, we would send each other our tunes. And we were allowed to have up to 3 listens. That was the thing. But today, we're going to have zero listens because we're just behind on stuff. So we're going to listen live. I mean, I have heard my tune. You have heard your tune.
Oh, I love my tune.
Yeah.
My tune is amazing.
I love my tune as well. But we have not, like I have not, at least I don't think I've listened to yours. I've listened to
maybe
songs by that band. But
you can say it's in the thing.
Against Me.
Yeah.
I had like a weird thing in the middle of saying that. I was like, wait, it's not Rise Against. No, because it's not. But yeah,
it's another Against band.
Against Me. And then my band, the Westerlies. So, but yeah, we're each going to, so we haven't listened before.
So there may be a lot of stopping.
Yeah.
Or not at all.
Or not at all, because we haven't had it. We're processing as we go. But in continuing with our bad timing of recording these ahead of time and then not thinking about when they come out, we're catching Pride Month at the end, so we're going to do another episode where we're theming towards Pride.
I think this is the
last. This will be like the 29th or something. It'll come out, or 30th. I can't remember. It'll come out at the end of the month.
Yeah, because last week's you guys know what day it is. It's the 29th.
There you go. Yeah, last week's episode we also themed this way, and we'll continue to do this week. Again, just we're 2 straight white guys, but we're trying to uplift some other voices and showcase some people of other communities.
Yeah.
And just music that we like a lot. So, because that's the sort of weird thing I see from my friends in both in like that are people of color and in LGBTQ and just different communities other than the ones that I fall into.
The white ones?
Basically. And it's like, you don't want to be, we're not trying to be pandering. We're not trying to be like whatever. And it's also like, that's not the whole point of the thing, but it's like, let's use this time and let's use any time really to uplift these voices. Does that make sense? Like it's not the whole point of these groups is not that they have a member or members or whatever identifying these things. That's just part of who they are. Yeah. So anyway,
because I would have Against Me on
same
for other. I would have this song on. At first I was like, wait, because I didn't do any research into yours, and I'm like, that doesn't. Okay, I don't know anything about that. Yeah. And it was instrumental, so I'm like, what's that?
But even like with the tunes we did last week with We Are the Union and Pansy Division, like same thing. They're just great artists and musicians, and also this other thing, you know. So it's kind of like with Victoria Canal. We talked about her way back when, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm differently abled or whatever, but like, okay, that's just another part of who I am. I'm a musician, and I'm a this and I'm a that. So cool. Anyway, just felt like I needed to say that."
So what are we doing? Just hit play?
First, I guess?
You're first.
Oh, so the Westerlies. Let me talk about the Westerlies real quick.
As opposed to the Easterlies, right?
Yeah.
Or the Northernlies.
Northerlies, which I think is a thing also.
Okay.
So Westerly has to do with like a western wind direction, like the wind blowing
west
from the west.
Good question.
Hang on.
Welcome to Meteorology 101. Earth Science.
It's
Atmosphere and space
like
science.
Skimming through their bio, but like there's a westerly. Where does it say it? Somewhere it says it. I don't know.
I think it's coming from the west.
I think so too. I'm just gonna type in wester,
because like you don't really be like, well, it's going east. You're just like, I feel it to the west.
A wind blowing from the west.
Yeah, from.
But you can also say in a westerly direction, like you are moving into the west.
Totally.
So anyway.
Sounds like Lord of the Rings to me.
From the Westerlies website. So there are a few things. They are an organization.
Okay.
and they are also a brass quintet. Like musically, they're a brass quintet, but as an organization, they are also like doing musical things and working with other people. And I want to read their mission statement.
It's like if Little Kids Rock had a band,
I guess.
Sure. An organization.
So their mission says the Westerlies create a bold and personal chamber music experience imbued with the spirit of improvisation, using their four horns to amplify unheard voices, paint new sonic landscapes, and cultivate a global community. And then they also have a social equity statement. The Westerlies are committed to dismantling racism, sexism, and economic inequality in their field and aim to reflect their values of diversity and inclusion in the music they make and the spaces they occupy. They're also a 501c3 nonprofit organization.
Look at that.
Yeah. So
a real deal.
I was sort of aware of them. Like it's one of those groups like I had heard of because they kind of, it's two trumpets, two trombones. That's their makeup of the group. And they have jazz background, classical background, folky sort of background. Like they kind of, and they sort of live within all those different spheres, and like they'll perform with people of those different things. Like there's a thing that was like they played with Fleet Foxes at like Coachella or something, and they just did like a sort of almost traditional type album with Theo Bleckman, who we talked about before from Moss. And
I think he follows us.
Yeah, I think so as well, which is cool. What up, Theo?
And the other the other two of the other members
of Moss, Kate McGarry, I saw she commented. Yeah, so thanks for listening, folks. But anyway, so they've performed with all kinds of different people, and the where I specifically became aware of them, and then like dove a little bit more into them was I was at the Jazz Congress in 2019, which is something the Jazz and Lincoln Center put on, which was just like this 2-day. I don't know what you call it, conference, I guess, where it was just all kinds of different speakers and sessions and stuff about different things in the jazz world. So there was things about being performers and being composers and being business people and on and on and on about all kinds of different stuff. And the one session I went to was called Making Spaces in Jazz for Transgender Voices. And two of the panelists on that were, I'm going to mess up your last name. I'm sorry, Riley Mulharker and Chloe Rollins, who are both members of the Westerlies. And in fact, I think they are the trumpet players for the Westerlies. Chloe, I know, definitely is. And Chloe is, she is transgender. And Riley's just, I believe, just an ally and stuff. And then Jennifer Latham was the other panelist on that panel, and she's a transgender bass player, and she's been in the jazz world for a long time. So it's kind of cool not just hearing from transgender people about what it's like to be transgender in the jazz community and the music community, but hearing from Jennifer Latham, who's been doing it for 30 plus years, and then hearing it from Chloe, who I don't even know if is 30, and then Riley, who's also in the band and stuff, and sort of seeing it from his perspective as a band member and an ally. So yeah, that's all about that I know about the Westerlies, which feels long-winded, but
yeah.
Anyway, this is their tune. My gosh, the name is escaping me at the moment. You have it pulled up, right?
Yeah. I mean, not right. There we go. It's called The Nearer Sun. The Nearer Sun,
yeah. It is track 1 off of this album.
Wow, mine's also track 1. This could be a track 1 episode.
It's just really beautiful. I don't know.
Let's listen. There may be a lot of pauses. There could be no pauses at all.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Here we go. Bo's first listen.
Maybe.
If you cut out the blank spaces.
Oh, I know what's going on. Guess what? Everybody in the world heard it except for us. It was not coming out of our speakers.
Okay.
There we go. Reminds me of
I like that chord.
What is that? Another one that you did. The singing group that we just did.
Oh, Moss?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That intro.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like, I guess it's just the voicing.
Yeah.
Quintet quartet.
Yeah, 2 trumpets, 2 trombones. Which is interesting as well. Usually there's a French horn or something.
Or tuba.
Lower voice or something, yeah.
Yeah, kind of judginess here. Wish that there was a lower... Because this is, like, it's not really going to get... Well, I don't know. But it feels like it should be like, right?
Yeah.
Like
I don't know.
Like it just kind of sits mids and up. But it's what it is. It's like a guitar quartet. You can only go so low.
Right. And trombones can get fairly low, but he's just not. I will admit too, I haven't researched this tune specifically. So I don't know, is there meaning behind it? Is it something else? Did they write it, arrange it? I don't know a lot about it.
You know nothing.
Yeah.
Jon Snow. The Westerlies.
I really like too that you can hear them breathing, and like they could have figured out ways to cut that out and stuff, but
no, man.
I appreciate it.
Ooh.
Like if you saw them live. And also the homophonic nature of the music, like moving all together.
Yeah.
Almost like a hymn in a way, other than here now there's a solo part. But the breathing together fits. Like it's almost as if it's one person that happens to just be making 4 sounds.
I don't know if it's you breathing or me breathing.
No,
sometimes.
It's them. I know.
I mean,
yeah.
I'm listening, but I'm like, I don't know if that was you or me.
The very opening one, I actually wasn't sure if it was us or if it was them.
Oh, okay.
Now I'm realizing it was them.
Oh, that was it. So I was totally like holding my breath.
I know.
To not breathe so that I could hear them breathe.
Yeah, that's funny.
It's like, wow, they're taking their sweet ass time. I'm gonna pass out.
Yeah,
I know it wasn't really that long of a breath, but still, it was funny.
Yeah.
So 2:40-ish, a little bit around that. It's good.
Yeah, it's very like.
It seemed really quick.
Mm-hmm. And since you brought up Moss too, like just like it has that vocal group quality to it in a way. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like a good vocal group or a good group. Like again, it just sounds like like you hear the individual voices, but it really sounds like it's just one thing.
Like a good ska
sure
trumpet line.
I guess. I don't know.
Or sorry, horn section.
Yeah,
I'm joking. But it could be.
Yeah,
could be.
But yeah, it's there again. If you listen to various albums from them, and even sort of within some, I don't know like their whole catalog to be honest, but they can really like flip the switch on stuff of like there's more stuff like that. There's stuff that's a lot more improvisatory. Again, they've like backed some specific bands and things. Like I said, their newest album is more of like a traditional type of thing with Theo Blackman singing. Yeah, they do all kinds of stuff. They're a good follow on Instagram as well. They're always doing kind of like fun stuff and showing them playing and rehearsing and writing. Seem to have a good rapport with each other too. Yeah, I see them pop up in different groups as well.
Okay.
I know Chloe for sure has played with the 8-Bit Big Band.
Okay.
If you're familiar with them, where they do, it's big band. Charlie Rosen's the guy's name, but he
did Adam really play with him?
He did, yeah, and he did like a video on the one thing that they did, but it's like it sounds. It's a big band, and they play like old video game music and stuff, and some newer stuff. That's basically what they do. But I've seen her like in the trumpet section, and I've seen Riley pop up at different places too, and so yeah, cool.
Cool. We're not going to pause today.
Yeah, I wish I had more to say about them. I just don't, but they're really great.
It was first listen.
Mm-hmm. So what did you like? Are you intrigued to listen to more?
No.
No? Okay, that's fair.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. That's not. That's not your.
It's not my thing. Or at least not right now.
Uh-huh.
I'm not going to say it's not. It'll never be my thing. I hate it because I don't.
Yeah.
That's not me. But it's not my thing right now. Like there was another, or I guess actually like 4 musicians that I was looking at, and I was just like, this isn't like I like the music. They're all very similar. I'm gonna have them on eventually. That's why I'm not mentioning them. But they don't. It wasn't the vibe I was feeling at the moment of being like, this would be really great. Like, I want something. Like, no. Anyways, I know that it's very vague and cryptic, but
you're vague booking.
Yeah. Anyways, on to my tune.
Yeah. So this is a band I'm familiar with, but not. I don't think I know this.
When did you discover Against Me?
Oh, I think right around the time they came out, or like
2001.
I feel like.
So you know this album,
but I don't. But I didn't really get into them.
Okay.
Like they're one of those bands. Like a lot of bands that you bring to this podcast,
you know, but you don't
I know, but I don't really know. I have them on compilations. I definitely own one CD by Against Me, but I don't know which
it's
one.
Probably The Eternal Cowboy.
Sure.
Is it like
couldn't tell you.
Torso?
Couldn't tell you.
All right, so this album is called Against Me is Reinventing Axl Rose.
Okay.
There was a story that I had read that I bet it's not here. Album title. Yeah. So the lead singer, Laura Jane Grace, she came out as woman in 2012. I don't really know. But
New Wave is the album I have.
New Wave? Oh, so that's like their first or second major label record. This is their very, very first. Like, so it's as the name. Grace states the album name was a "Kill Your Idols" proclamation. Guns N' Roses were my favorite band when I was a kid. The title was meant as a tribute in a way. It was also about destroying your heroes. So it's got Axl Rose on the cover. It's like black and white. It's got the Against Me with stars in the back in red, and then down in the corner. I have this in a split color vinyl. I know red. I don't know if it's red and black or if it's red and white. I think it's red and black. So it's really cool. I'm like, oh, I have this. And I think when I was, I showed them because we were on tour in, when was it? It was like after this. It was, I think 2003, 2004, whenever their next, like their first Fat Records album, as The Eternal Cowboy. Because a lot of their earlier records were like Against Me, and like the name of the album included the name of the band. Okay. So like this was Against Me is Reinventing Axl Rose, and then the next one was Against Me as The Eternal Cowboy.
Gotcha.
Which has Sink Floor to Sink, which is a really good song. And then they also did The Original Cowboy, which is apparently just demos, which one of the songs sounds exactly like the demo, which means I think it was the demo. Yeah. But this one was recorded in 4 days over like a year. So July 23rd to January 12th, 2001, 2002. They are referred to as like punk rock, but folk rock. At this point, it's very more folky. Like Laura, when she started, it was just an acoustic guitar and them talking about whatever. There's a song called "Baby, I'm an Anarchist," which is like a love song about like her being an anarchist. And then their partner being like not as extreme. Yeah. It's like, oh, you're just like a left leaning liberal. And it's like, why don't you do this thing? It's like, we can never get along. Yeah. I don't know. It's weird. Okay. It's an interesting song. But this song is called Pints of Guinness Make You Strong.
Cool.
And I believe that it's about Laura's grandmother and grandfather. So the lyrics to that, build into that, so that pints of Guinness make you strong I think that her heritage is Irish, so a lot of this is you'll hear in the lyrics. It kind of sounds that way, and I like this because I kind of attribute them to being like, it's punk rock, but it's also, or at least the earlier stuff could also be considered like country.
Yeah, I can hear that. And they're from Florida, right?
That's where they started.
Right.
So Laura now lives in Chicago. I don't know where the other...
I'm just thinking about like the early influence of like the the Florida...
Gainesville.
Yeah.
Gainesville, Florida is where they're billed from. There's only 2 members still as that, I believe. Lauren or Laura. I've been screwing that up the whole time. Laura. And James Bowman is the other guitar player.
Okay.
On this record, it's Warren Oakes on drums, and then Dustin Friedkin. I think that's the last name. I want to say that Dustin came back in the band at some point, but maybe came back and then left again. No, okay, my bad. I never met Dustin. I met Andrew. Andrew Seward, not Stewart, but Seward.
Seward. Okay.
He was in it, and then he left, and then he came back.
Okay.
So he's the bass player. Andrew's awesome. Left in 2013. Which might make sense to some things. Anyways, here's the song. This is a song that I learned on that tour. It's super easy. It's like 3 chords.
Yeah.
Because it's like folk punk, right? And simple drums as well. Right?
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom. Very, country bass.
Yeah.
Which is the best part of this song. I don't know what it's about. Like, really, I think it's just like let me tell the story of my grandparents.
Yeah.
But that it's just like...
Which is in the folk tradition.
Yeah. It's just a story.
Yeah.
And then the chorus is very sing along. I'll be drinking Irish tonight. The memory of the last one. They got forever. I'm not coming home. And a lot of the Against Me songs, like if you hear them live, the crowd is singing along the whole time. Like you don't, it's just thousands of voices just singing along.
Yeah.
Like sometimes, especially this song. And this recording, it's their first, so it's like, it was on No Idea Records, which is from Gainesville. I think AF Records tried to get them, but then Fat was like, no, we'll take that one. Well, I don't think it was that. I think it was like AF Records was like, we'll put you out, and Fat Records was like, we'll put you out, and then it's like, yeah. Going from No Idea to Fat or to AF Records was like a sideways lateral move, versus was a step ahead.
Yeah, for sure.
Which then got them to Sire. This one ended up. I just would have let myself die. But the recording isn't like amazing.
Yeah.
Like I would probably get rid of that snare. That snare is like just too bland.
Yeah.
But I mean, just imagine this, like a drummer and a guitar player and vocals, and then the crowd.
Yeah.
Because there are shows that I've seen where like the crowd is just surrounding.
That's cool.
Them playing, and like the camera that it's just somebody holding up their phone to be like, look down over the top of these people. Like one takes. Like let's just play it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. No, it's cool, and it's very folk punky. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just telling a story. Yeah, there's a sing along chorus, very singable. Yeah.
Against Me.
Yeah, Against Me with an exclamation point.
Yes, it is with an exclamation point. Their later stuff is also really cool, but like you can kind of see a little transition, and I think their major label stuff was produced by Butch Vig.
Okay.
And then Laura's stuff was also like solo stuff was also produced.
Yeah, I saw that she has another band.
What is the other band?
Oh, hang on.
I got a lot of connections to this band.
Go back to
Wikipedia. Or to Laura.
Laura Jane Grace and the Devouring Mothers.
Yes, the Devouring Mothers is it's Laura, and then there's what's the guy's name? I can't think of the bass player. Anyways, the bass player owns a recording studio called Rancho or Recordo Ranchero or something like that. That's where that's where Against Me demos their ideas, and then they'll go to like wherever they want. And that's where we recorded the drums and bass for whatever the Code is doing next.
Cool. And
also, the last Suicide Machines records was recorded there.
Oh.
So
sweet.
It's north of Detroit. It's like in the middle of nowhere. Apparently you can shoot guns and no one cares. There was like a festival across the street, but it's like really set far back, and it's like a live-in studio. That's not cool. Like the people live in there.
Yeah.
It's an extension onto the house, just like this one huge room. Like just imagine this room. Nobody can see it. So imagine a classroom, and then it's 2 stories, and then there's only 2 rooms involved. There's the control room, and then there's the live room. It was a fun time hanging out there.
Yeah, I'm intrigued to get more into them or back in. I don't even say back into them. I never really quite got. Like I said, I own that New Wave CD. Maybe I've listened to it. I think there was just like hype around that album, and I was like,
New Wave?
I should get that one. Yeah.
Well, yeah, New Wave was like their major label.
Maybe and that's probably why I got
debut.
It. Yeah.
Which with Thrash Unreal on it, and White People for Peace. It's really interesting. I think that the most significant record, as far as the band goes, was Transgender Dysphoria Blues.
Yeah.
Because that's like that is the coming out record,
right?
Where it's a lot of that. And then another song that I thought of was "Drinking with Jocks," was the song, and it is basically like, this is how I used to be, to hide my feelings, versus this is who I am now.
Sure.
Like I'm drinking with jocks. Yeah, I'm laughing. Well, it uses a lot of slurs in there, but it's like, just like one of the boys swinging my dick in my hand all my life, all my life, all my life.
Gotcha.
It's like, look at all them bitches. I'm going to fuck them all.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Yeah.
It's like all this jock talk, which is messed up.
Yep.
But that fitting in at that point, and then trying to be yourself.
Yeah.
At another point.
Word.
To Big Bird.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah, we'll see you.
You can find us on social media, Facebook, Instagram at Two Tunes Podcast. Send us an email. You and the bots can send us emails. twotunespodcast@gmail.com.
Lots of bots.
Find us on the Discord with Christian and Bo.
It's in the description.
Yeah.
And if it's not, just message us on Instagram.
Yeah.
And we'll get you there.
Give us a share. Give us a like. Tell all your friends. Don't say it.
All right, bye guys. Thank you.
Peace.